My name is Marisela Reyes-Alvarez, and after completing the Disposition self-assessment survey and analyzing my results, I was able to conclude that I hold many dispositions that can be seen as helpful to future teachers. One of the characteristics that I have is that I really am sensitive towards children, and I think that's very important for future teachers. When teaching children, you can't just see them as objects or sponges that are just going to absorb everything you give them. You have to care about each individual child, but not excessively to where you're no longer teaching them and are now a second parent. I think that teachers should care for their students and get to know them personally, get to know their background, where they come from, and the hardships that they may be enduring outside of school, because that can take part in how a child learns. I think one of the most important things for children as well at such an early age, since I'm going into elementary education, is to maintain creativity. When they're creative at a young age, it's easier for them to grasp, I think, more complex concepts because their mind is already open. And when you let them be curious and want to figure things out, it's opening different outlets that help them learn in the long run. Without curiosity, what drive is there really to want to learn? However, after taking the assessment, I did realize that there is one trait that I hold that probably isn't very good to have as a future teacher. I don't think that teachers should have set expectations for their students, because when you set expectations, sometimes you tend to expect more from students that can't give that much. I think that setting expectations should be based on the type of student. I don't think everyone can learn the same, and I don't think teachers should think that way. I'm not sure if I misunderstood the question, but it had asked, like, should educators have set expectations, and should they expect or assume that all students can learn? And I do believe all students can learn, but maybe not at the same level as each other. I think that the level of expectations from each student should be based on the student themselves, and that their ability to learn is based on where they originally came from. If I'm the first teacher to ever enter their life, if I'm the first instructor or the first person to ever want to give them new information or valuable information, then their brain is pretty new to being able to absorb, and they might go at a slower pace than others that have come from already being educated. But I think that's something I might need to work on, because I need to keep, I guess, technically a more narrow mind on that. I shouldn't be so open, and I might be too lenient on some students because of my sensitivity and because I'm not setting expectations for them. Traits and qualities that I've picked up from professional educators is that they are in fact professional. They maintain a professional yet comforting, or I guess a homely feeling to them as an instructor. They know that they're there to instruct me and that I'm supposed to be there to learn. They're not necessarily supposed to be my friend, but they're not supposed to be unfriendly either. They maintain a balance between professional and, I guess in a way, they are a caregiver, because once we are placed in the walls of a school, they are now responsible for us. We go by their rules. They technically become our second parents. So they look out for us, but they also instruct us. They're strict, yet they care. Another quality that I've noticed from professional instructors or educators is that they're patient. I have met some that are seen very unprofessional because they don't really care about their job, and they aren't patient, and they're not willing to work with all of their students. Lastly, I think that one of the most crucial qualities of a professional educator is that they are in fact knowledgeable. They know their criteria, they know their curriculum, they know what they're teaching, and they don't question themselves. I guarantee that at some point in any educator's life, they will question themselves or they will make mistakes, but it's good that they recognize it on their own and that they're not feeding their students false information. And that concludes my video.